Today we are looking at the largest Zenitsu statue on the market. This bad boy is made by Infinity Studio. It comes in a quarter scale, which is a quarter the size of a normal person. If you're watching this video the day it releases, we're 1 week out from the final episode of season 2. And so I figured, you know what, because we're on a break from the show, might as well enjoy an awesome collectible statue. Today's statue is a masterpiece and it's a triple threat to me. So what that means is it's got an amazing character representation. It shows their abilities off and an awesome diorama to come with it. Without delay, let's jump on in and see this crazy huge statue. The box for this bad boy is absolutely ginormous. The artwork on the outside is also very nice. On the back of it, you'll see my box took a nasty hit, but that's exactly what it's for, right? To protect the contents, which it did. I already cut the Infinity Studio sticker on the front, which is on all their boxes, and we have 2 very important pieces of content on top. This first one is the Certificate of Authenticity. 1,500 of these bad boys were made. I have no doubt they're all going to sell out over time because of how epic this is. So this second piece is very important. It's more like a table of contents mixed with an instruction assembly. So you're really going to need it for this piece. There's a lot of different lightning pieces that they sculpted separately that's difficult to understand where to go unless you follow that. Jumping into the statue, we'll see the base is one giant piece. On the bottom, that nice black and white artwork. Normally, I would hold the base up in front of the camera to show you the details. Unfortunately, the size and weight of this is massive, so gonna skip that and give you some zoomed in shots. On the front is where a logo is gonna be keyed into later. You'll see that pretty much all the base is a Rocky theme, but with tons of different colors going on, a bunch of little notches as well, where effects and Zenitsu himself are gonna key into. But these giant blue particle effects are gonna be amazing how they light up later because of the material they were made out of. They really did do a masterful job of mixing both diorama and effects and kind of the power that's going on in this scene. So right here's also the AC adapter mixed with the on and off switch. The studio gives you 2 choices of a nameplate or the Demon Slayer logo to put on the front. So this is Zenitsu Agatsuma in Japanese. And then also we have the standard Demon Slayer logo that we see for the show. I believe it's officially Kimetsu no Yaiba, but I always call it Demon Slayer myself. Something I'd love to see in the future from the studio is maybe just like a piece of rock or diorama that fills in that base, just in case you didn't want to have a nameplate on it. Here we have the beginning of numerous different lightning effects that they sculpted on here. This is actually one of 2 yellow pieces that they did sculpt. If you are one of the lucky few that does own this statue, hopefully this video does help you in the actual building process of getting these on there. You can use the instruction manual, which they did try to do a good job with. It's still quite confusing to get everything correct. So again, hopefully this video does help you in the process of putting things together. The last and next piece do key in right next to the front left foot if you're looking at it from the front side. Some of the larger pieces do key into 2 different sections. One part's going to go into the base, the other's going to key into that bluish effect in the background. I forgot to mention before, but that yellow centerpiece does have 2 points of contact up at the top. We'll connect it with that little point right there. I'm not gonna lie, this statue is actually the longest it's ever taken me to put together some pieces on something. I consider myself a decently seasoned person when understanding how to put together statues. This one took me probably like an hour and 15 minutes to make sure I found every single part. The hardest thing is honestly sometimes finding the little keyholes that the bottom pieces of the lightning effects do go into. Here's another one of those pieces that have 2 points of connection, which is great, right? So the larger ones are heavier and more likely to bend over time, but having these dual sections that they go into makes it to where they're not going to. They're secure and set into place. Here's one of the last few remaining that's gonna be on the front side, and we're gonna be moving a little bit towards the back. Here we have the second yellow lightning effect piece. I think they went with primarily blue for all these to not contrast or go against Zenitsu's outfit. We were almost at the finish line for getting these effect pieces on here. The back ones, they were the worst for me. They just took the longest to try to figure out because some of the holes that these key into are just really well hidden. Which, by the way, don't for a moment think that I'm complaining or saying that this is a negative aspect of the statue. How well hidden they are makes it look very organic once everything is put together, like it was actually came and built this way. That's truly one of the most remarkable things about this statue is how it looks like it took a snapshot from the anime and just ripped it into real life statue form. Aside from all the blue effect pieces, one of my favorite parts is all the rocks that are being lifted in the air from Zenitsu using his thunder breathing technique. Going to remove this effect piece briefly to bring in Sleepy Boy himself. Now this is one of the most masterful sculpts I've ever seen for a quarter scale statue. They captured every single detail. You know, I've owned some Infinity Studio 1/6 scale pieces of theirs, and they've been amazing as well, but these quarter scales are a total next level when it comes to the actual feel of the character themselves. Flipping him around back, we'll see all sorts of different shading that was brought to life. Also, that arm is sculpted separately, and then some of the ruffles in the actual outfit, and then also there's some dirt marks as if he's seen some battle in this moment. I always feel like I'm playing that game of Operation when I'm trying to get this keyed into and not hit the other effects. So there's a few angles. Let's get that other little lightning effect piece back on the statue. Though he is headless and armless, you can already tell that they nailed the pose for him. So let's jump into getting that arm on. Here is the yellow Nissan blade. Now, one thing to mention about this is this piece right here is made of resin and gorgeously sculpted. Now, the tip on the end there is actually made of some kind of PVC or plastic. Thank goodness, because the many different times that I hit that or went up against it, I probably would have broken it off if it was made of resin. Make sure that PVC piece is facing downward, and then we have the other arm, which they did sculpt the hand and arm separately. You can see how it removes here. Very importantly, we'll get into that in a moment, but then you can see the outfit again, all the details, and kind of that black marking. It almost looks like damage, but it's not. It was very intentional, the way that they put that on the statue. How I got this on here is getting the hand first and then getting the arm partially installed, getting them both meeting at the same point, and then it just sits right into place. Thankfully, there is no ugly seam line because the arm was sculpted together. It just looks perfect. Now it is time for his head sculpt, which it gave us two different options. So we had the closed eye version, and I'm not going to talk about the painting, right? It's absolute perfection. We've seen that so far. One thing to mention is just like that little tassel on the sword, his hair is made of a PVC, which again, I'm actually thankful for. So the way that it sits on the table or rolls around or moves around, it doesn't have any chance of breaking. Here is the second alternative head. Absolutely amazing. Eyes open, bright white, and this may be a bit disturbing, but we have to remove the top in order to put some batteries in here to light those up. The brightness isn't too overwhelming for this. Mine was maybe a little dim. I might get some replacement batteries to see if it does get brighter, but on camera it's going to look amazing because it does pick up those brights very well. We'll go ahead and take a look and see how both heads look on him. I can't not go with the LED lit eyes though. See what I'm talking about? On camera, it looks absolutely amazing. The LEDs on the statue, you have multiple different effects to choose from. This is one of the first where it has a strobe-like effect. And if that's something that you don't like, you can also do this strobe or breathing type effect where it does slowly pulsate. And then lastly, if you just want some static LEDs, this is how it looks as well, just as incredible. As I said in the beginning, this statue is a masterpiece. It's what I would call a triple threat. The Rocky diorama not only looks nice, but it does support all the other elements going on. We have the thunder breathing technique that's perfectly captured in so many different elements, and then the actual character himself, Zenitsu, does look amazing. I hope you enjoyed today's showcase by Infinity Studio. They have a Tanjiro coming out in the near future. I cannot wait to hopefully showcase, and I'll see you in the next. Do what you love and love what you do. Bam out!